Hi, welcome to another Sporting Communities podcast. Sporting Communities are a community interest company. We are an ethical, non-for-profit organisation which services range from sports coaching, youth work, mentors and family support. We are a training academy delivering a range of qualifications, and we also have art and play services. Today, we're going to be discussing mental health again. I'm James and I'm joined by Ed, Mim and Sam. So we're going to have a quick discussion around a couple of videos that we've made, and then we're going to have a quick discussion around sort of everything that's going on at the minute and any changes that have been happening. So quick introductions. I'm James. I've been with Sporting Communities for about a year and a half now, mainly going out into the community and delivering coaching sessions. Obviously, for the last few months, we've been doing these podcasts as we haven't been able to get out and see you guys, but hopefully that will be different soon. Ed, coming to you.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Ed. I'm the Derbyshire Development Officer for Sporting Communities. I also help run some of the sports coaching sessions around Derby, so my main role is organising the sessions and also involved in a coaching project around the underrepresentation of Black, Asian and minority ethnic coaches within the paid coaching industry.
Fab. And Mim?
Hi, my name's Mim. I've been with the company for just over a year now, and I work for the Supporting Communities strand. So I go out into different communities and work with the young people and families within the sessions.
Perfect. And last but not least, Sam?
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the Family Support Officer. I'm new to Sporting Communities and I work with family, young people and children to help support them and their families.
Great stuff. Thank you all. So we'll start off. I know me and Mim have both made a video during the last week or so that we're going to play now for you. And then me and Mim are going to discuss sort of the aims of the videos, and then we can have a quick discussion around it. So if we start with Mim's video, if we play that now.
When sessions start up, we will have to be keeping the 2 metre distance. So that means when playing football, we'll have to keep 2 metres. And when you see us walking around, we won't be able to give you a high five. We're so excited for our sessions to be starting again, and we're so excited to see you all. However, we still need to remember to keep 2 metres distance. Sadly, we can't play the games that we normally do, but we will still find something fun to do, keeping our distance, keeping safe, but still having fun. All Sporting Community staff will be following the government guidelines, so we will all be wearing face masks and PPE during the sessions.
Okay, great stuff. So coming to you, Mim, if you just want to give us a quick sort of what you wanted to show from the video, and then we can have a quick discussion around it, if that's okay.
Yeah, so the aim of my video really was just to sort of relieve some of the anxieties that the young people and those that take part in our sessions might have around coming back, and how we're going to implement the government guidelines into our work. So it's just covering really what we can and what we can't do within sessions, and that we are actually reinforcing guidance in terms of PPE, distancing. It'll be a range of non-contact games that we're playing. So yeah, just to sort of alleviate some of them anxieties around it really.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it myself, and I have to say it's great that we can all now finally get back out in society and actually start putting on some sessions again, because while it's been great to do all of these, I think actually seeing young people's faces in person, it's so much better, and seeing sort of the smiles on their faces, being able to get back out and do a few things again. I know we've all been looking forward to it, so I imagine the young people have been looking forward to it twice as much. So yeah, I really appreciated that. Did you guys have any thoughts about the video?
Yeah, it was really good, Mim. Yeah, I thought it's nice just to see it as a visual, just to make it clear and give people something to watch as well. You know, the guidelines at the minute, there's so much, you know, pages after pages of writing. I think it's really nice and refreshing just to see a bit of an animation of, you know, some clear guidance that, you know, we're going to be sticking to as our sessions, like you said, as our sessions start back out. And I think, yeah, like you say, everyone's a bit anxious at the minute, especially going back out with our sessions starting again. So, you know, being, you know, role models and mentors as the coaches we are, I think it's really important that we lead by example, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun and enjoyable sessions when they do start back out.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really good point. They are still going to be fun. Don't worry, guys. It's not going to be a case of you stand over there, you stand over there. We will be having a fun time. Yes, there's going to be guidance to it, and yes, we've got to be careful about what we can and can't do. But at the same time, we're putting on the sessions because we want you guys to have a good time. So I think Mim got that across in her video really well. So I know we're all looking forward to getting back out there. Great stuff. So if we move on to the video that I've done, so if we can play that now, and then I'll explain basically the aims that I wanted to achieve from the video, and then we can have a discussion around that.
During lockdown, lots of people have struggled with their sleep. So this short video is going to look at a few things that we can do to help. So first of all, let's have a look at a few things which can impact the way you sleep. So firstly, we've got TV, laptop, mobile phone. All of these electronic devices can negatively impact the way you sleep. Ideally, try not to use any of these for at least 2 hours before you go to bed. Food can also make a big difference to your sleep. Ideally, try not to have any caffeine after your evening meal, and try not to eat anything 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay, so let's also have a look at a few things which can help you to sleep. Firstly, you could get a nice warm bath, but try not to make it too hot. Second, you could also make a to-do list of your thoughts if you are struggling to sleep. Third, you could do some light exercises such as yoga, but nothing too strenuous. Or finally, you could try reading a book, as this will help you to relax.
So I hope that made sense to you all. The aim of the video really was because of something that I know I've struggled with since I've gone back to work, which is getting to sleep on a night. So I found that I'd been staying up late watching sort of TV shows and bits like that I'd kind of got into the habit of doing during lockdown. And once I was back at work and I was having to get up at a set time again in the morning, I found it quite difficult to get out of the routine of sort of switching off on a night and actually not watching TV until just before I was going to bed, and making sure that I wasn't eating too late and drinking caffeine after a certain time. And so I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I've been working on myself to try and help me get to sleep on a night. I know it's helped me, so I've had a bit more energy in the morning when I'm waking up. I'm not feeling as tired, and it's just helped me drift off when I am actually going to bed. So I kind of wanted to share that with you all, and hopefully if anyone's struggling with the same kind of things, it can help you guys going forward. So I don't know if you guys had any opinions on the video, if you want to share them.
Yeah, I think it's really important actually that we are recognising that, because I think it's something that everyone will be struggling with at the minute, in getting back into a routine that they're used to, and that change. So yeah, I think it's really good that it's been raised. I know that I've personally been struggling with that, and I've been struggling to get out of bed in the morning as well with having the late night. So I think implementing that routine now is really good now that we're starting to go back to work and stuff. So yeah,
great stuff. Anyone else?
Yeah, I agree. It's a massive topic, and I think it's an underlying issue for a lot of people where they'll find themselves quite drained and tired during the day, and they'll question why that is. And a lot of the time it's, you might be sleeping, but it's really important to get across that it's the quality of your sleep that's really important. It's not the time necessarily, how long you're sleeping for, it's the quality. So
yeah,
I think it's a big topic that we could go, in depth, we could talk about for ages, but I think it's really good just to get that point across, the main point across. And it's, again, something that I've struggled with. So for saying that 3 of us, and maybe Sam as well, have struggled within just speaking on this, shows that it is an issue with a lot of people. So I hope that everyone can relate to that, and it helps people out in terms of helping them get some better sleep.
Yeah, I know another thing that I found quite strange during lockdown and coming out of it with regards to sleeping. I've never been really one that remembers my dreams when I wake up in the morning, but I seem to have been waking up in the morning and I've had really vivid dreams, and I've sort of remembered everything about them. And that for me is something a bit new, because normally I wake up in the morning, I can't really remember anything that I've dreamt. But some things I've actually woke up and I thought to myself, did that actually happen? And I sort of wake up and I think, did that happen in the night or did that not happen? And it's been a little bit odd. So I did do a little bit of research around that, and apparently that's normal when you're going from sort of one routine to another. have vivid dreams and to have sort of things where you're sort of living out your next day actually in your dream is quite normal. So if any of you have experienced that as well, don't worry, I'm going through the exact same thing and it is normal. So
I am
it's
too,
strange.
James. You're not alone there. I've been told I've been talking a lot as well.
Yeah, I've had the same. So I've never done that before, but apparently that's really normal. So if you are experiencing it, don't worry. Okay, great. So moving on from the videos, one of the big changes that's been implemented this week is the fact that face masks are now going to be mandatory every time you go into a shop. So I just wanted to get opinions on this. Obviously, I work in a shop myself, so it is going to directly affect me and the place that I'm working. But I just wanted to get opinions from you guys about what you think about that situation. Do we think it's a good thing? Do we think it's going to help? And more importantly, do we think people are actually going to stick to it? So I don't know who wants to start, but basically that's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, I think it's really important in terms of wearing masks. I think it should be something that was implemented from day one, really. However, what I will say is I think that them busting the prices of them up is really bad. I think with it being something that's mandatory and that we've got to do, they should be made available because not everyone can afford that. I know that I can't afford to pay like £12.50 for 5 disposable masks. I think that's ridiculous, but obviously it's something that we've got to do. So I think there should be more sort of awareness around that in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Sam, what's your opinions?
I think it's a good idea. I'm a little bit lost with obviously obviously we have to wear them in shops and on public transport, but then in other areas, especially for a child's point of view, they're seeing that you have to wear them into a shop. So but then obviously they're watching people on TV and they're watching football and they're going to school and so forth, but they're not wearing masks. So I think it's hard for them to maybe comprehend why they've got to wear one going into a shop. Obviously following Mim, I think maybe sometimes, I do feel that it should be accessible to have a mask when walking into a shop because some people might forget them. So then if you do forget them, obviously people are going to be worried about not being able to go into the shop and actually go shopping or whatever. So I think that's going to be an extra stress to someone's day, always remembering a mask. But then on the flip side, I think if obviously because children do have to wear masks, to make it a little bit lighter and positive for them. I know with my own children, I've been trying to get them to wear the masks at home and making it quite fun for them. And a family member of mine have made them fun masks as well. So obviously one's got a Fortnite mask, one's got a football mask. And I know my youngest keeps saying that he's a bandit. So, and obviously keeps running around with a mask on his face, just so that it's not so, yeah, so just so that it's not so daunting when they are going shopping, because it's a long period of time. Like I got my youngest to wear a mask to go shopping the other day, food shopping, and he managed literally the whole way around the supermarket and was in there for a good probably 45 minutes. And literally at the very end, he was like, "Mummy, I can't breathe." But he'd had it on for such a long period of time. So I think maybe introducing them at home might help as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually. And I think, like you say, almost bringing that fun element into it, I think will definitely help with sort of the younger ages. Because, like you say, if it's something that they then want to do and they are seeing it as a really good, positive thing, then they're much more likely to want to do it. Whereas if they're just being told, we know with kids, if you're told you need to do something, majority of the time you'll rebel against it and you don't want to do it. So if you can bring that fun element into it, I think that's definitely going to help. So I think that's really good advice, actually. Ed, what's your opinions?
Yeah, I just think it's another challenging time and something else that everyone's got to overcome. I think Sam's made a great point. Again, it's about being creative, being able to adapt and make it enjoyable for young kids or anyone really to wear a mask, because I've had to wear one a couple of times, and it's just a case, I think, of getting used to it. I think when I first put it on, it felt really abnormal and a bit weird, but as time went on and I just got used to it and almost forgot I was wearing it at points. So I think if everyone sticks together and the more other people see other people wearing masks, it will really encourage everyone to kind of chip in and just stick to the rules and wear them when going shopping. I agree with Sam as also with it's again confusing and a bit mixed messages with having to wear them in shops but not pubs and restaurants. Find that a bit odd, and the timing of it all as well a bit odd. But again, it's just something that we've got to stick to and get over. I'm sure it won't be long before, you know, they change the rules again and people don't have to wear them anymore. So the sooner everyone sticks to it and the more people that stick to it, the sooner we can all get back to normal, really. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, from a personal point of view, obviously I've been wearing a mask pretty much every day at work. But what's been interesting is I would say probably 80% of people walking around the centre and coming into the shops actually aren't wearing face masks. So I am looking forward to kind of seeing what the impact is come Friday as to whether everybody does adhere to it or not, and quite how it gets policed if people aren't wearing the face masks.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that, James, actually. How do you feel about policing that fact? Or is it down to you, or is it?
I think because we're inside a centre, I think it's more down to the centre to make sure that when they're coming into the centre, they've got the face masks on them, to be honest. Yeah. I've kind of told my staff that when they come in, ideally they should be wearing a face mask, and if they're not, then we need to be advising them that they should be wearing a face mask. But I don't really see it down to us to be kicking customers out of the shop, because, to be honest, there isn't enough of us to be doing it anyway. Yeah. And I don't want to end up putting any of my staff kind of at risk if someone comes in and they're kicking off that they don't want to put on a mask. So I've just said to my staff, look, if you get anything like that, you can obviously call the security and stuff like that for the centre. But I don't really think it's down to us to do it. And I think the guidance has been a little bit hazy with regards to how it's dealt with if people are coming into a shop and then they're not doing it. I mean, let's say you're walking in a supermarket and someone hasn't got a face mask on. Whose responsibility is it to then kick that person out of the supermarket?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I like we've all said, I hope that common sense prevails. It's obviously being done for the right reasons, so I hope that everybody sticks to it and wears it, because at the end of the day, it's there to save people's lives. So if it's going to do that, then I think we should all just stick to it. Like you say, it can be uncomfortable when you first put it on, but actually we get used to it. And surgeons and people like that are wearing them every single day for 10-hour shifts and whatever. So if they can do it, then I'm sure if we want to go shopping for an hour, we can do it. So
I agree. I think it's everyone's responsibility to do that. I think it's really unfair, like you've mentioned, in them situations, to ask shop workers to have an added role of all of a sudden be like policing who's allowed in their shop and who's not. And I know the rules are clear in terms of it's, you know, simple and clear that it's mandatory to wear a face mask, but I do think it is unfair. I think it can be a very uncomfortable situation asking someone to have to leave or whatever you would do in that situation. So yeah, and I know where you're coming from, and I agree. You know, they haven't been clear enough.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I know if I was out in a shop and someone was saying, do you know what, I don't want to put on my mask, and someone was kind of getting a bit aggressive towards a member of staff, I think personally I'd step in anyway as another customer and say, you shouldn't really be doing this, either put on a mask or leave. And I'm kind of hoping that the public will almost police it themselves.
That's what I mean.
If that makes sense.
It's everyone's responsibility. Themselves. Yeah.
Walking through the hospital, obviously everyone's wearing masks, and they're obviously respecting every person that's walking in the hospital, patient, visitor, or whatever, are all, and obviously workers, but they're all respecting the guidelines. And obviously I've seen people getting on and off buses and they're all wearing masks. I've seen people stood at bus stops all wearing masks because it's already been implemented. So I'd like to think that people going into stores would obviously respect that obviously it's not you guys as shop workers that are implementing the guidelines, it's the government. So I'd like to think that people would respect that, and obviously encourage like you say, other customers encourage other customers or family members encourage people definitely to wear a mask, because obviously, like you say, it's not yourself that's implementing them rules. And I don't think that you'd see someone going to the hospital or getting on a bus refusing to wear one. And if they do, then at the end of the day, I don't think it's wrong in you saying that they shouldn't come into the shop. I'm not saying it's your responsibility to, but if that was said to that person, it's wrong.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good point, Sam. I think it's such a tricky topic, and I think until we almost get there and see it, we don't quite know how it's going to go. But I think we're all along the same line, that we kind of hope that common sense prevails, that the public work together. At the end of the day, like we say, they're doing it for positive reasons. So if we all just do it, then hopefully the sooner we can get out of this situation completely, and we can get back to the closest to normal that we possibly can. So fingers crossed for that, I guess.
I think as a starting point as well, in terms of the face masks and stuff, I think it also is about, obviously I know you mentioned, James, about policing it as a community, but I think also not putting people on the spot as well, because there might be people that either aren't aware or can't afford them, or maybe they have like medical conditions like asthma. So I think it's about maybe opening up the shops for certain groups that can't wear, you know, like they've done the hour for NHS workers, maybe they could do like an hour in the morning for asthmatics and stuff that actually can't wear the mask. So I think it's all about everyone coming together and finding a way that will sort of cater for everyone.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I think that's good as well. It's not about just seeing someone without a mask and shouting so everyone can hear and letting everyone else know, because like you've just said, there might be a good reason why they're not wearing it. So I think,
yeah, and actually the last thing you want to do is antagonise them. So
yeah,
great stuff. So I think that's pretty much it from us this week. Thank you everyone for listening again. We are really looking forward to getting out and seeing you guys out in the flesh. We can't wait, and we know you can't too. So thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
see you later.
Bye.